Officials ready.
All right, welcome back to the channel.
Ready. Neighborhood ready.
Yeah. Guys, this is a fun one. This was Cat's Hill, presented by Mike's Bike, San Jose Bike Club. This was in Northern California. This is, yeah, one of the funnest crits I've done. This really cool neighborhood. It was just great, man. This is, you'll see Cat's Hill. I don't know if the name of the hill is Cat's Hill. But there's a big old little hill in it, and you know, guys are saying, do you take it in the small ring? Do you take it in the big ring? So this is it's kind of it's like an L shape. I think all right-handers, but there's a little speed hump here. I guess then there's a left up to the face of the hill. So we're coming up hill. There's Blaine, Thirsty Bear. Blaine and I battled it out at Bariani. Video also up on the channel. Check that one out. Here's the hill. Every time. And you hear me cross-chaining in the big ring because I didn't want to have to shift back into the big ring at the top, because right about here is a really good attack point. So I didn't want to get attacked. But you know, I started off the race at the front. You'll see, I don't know how many laps in, but we get a little break established here. You know, Thirsty Bear is definitely some people to watch. Also, Olympic Club, Chris Coble, Dana Williams, Mike's Bike, I think former national champion, maybe former pro. But those guys are super strong. This is actually an Omnium, so I'm actually recording the audio for this. I'm driving back to Santa Cruz. That was yesterday was Cat's Hill. Today is Santa Cruz Criterium. It's a 2-day Omnium, so trying to multitask a little bit here. So hopefully the audio is okay. I got my AirPods in and the laptop strategically placed so I can see what I'm commentating on. But someone kind of gave me the comment, man, you sound tired when you do your voiceovers. So I'm like, yeah, because I usually stay up till like, you know, 1 a.m. to get it started so I can upload it and blah, blah, blah. So I thought maybe I'll try to do it fully caffeinated. Hopefully I sound a little bit more energetic, but not too energetic. So I think we might have, let's see now. Are we in the break? I think it's starting to stretch right here. Maybe not. Maybe Blaine's just still kind of setting pace on the front. So this is 30 plus, 1, 2, 3, 40 plus, 1, 2, 3. Combined scored separate. I think there was 10 in the 30 plus and maybe 28, something like that in the 40 plus. Blaine in front of me is 40 plus, and Dana behind me is 40 plus. Here's the hill again. This is a cool spot. People were posted up all day, kind of cheering you on right at the top. Kind of surge up through. Kind of curious to see how this breakaway kind of unfolds. It's nice to watch a race video and kind of see what's happening behind you with some of the rear camera footage. But so then it kind of crests out a little saddle there, and then just a slight little downhill and then a little kicker left, and then you're after this left, or I'm sorry, after this right, you're at the kind of at the top of the course. Then it's about a 30-second all out downhill, no brakes needed if you take the right line. And you'll see the speeds up here. We get up around 30, 35, coasting down the hill, down the backside here. So there's the, I guess, turn 5, I think it is, and then a big long downhill into the final turn back to the front straightaway. So. And I kind of was checking up early because I'm like, how fast can you go? But turns out you can just, you got a wide exit there, and you know, if you're on the front, you can, you know, choose your fate in terms of line choice. There was a little crosswind here, a little right to left that you kind of felt here. Otherwise, you didn't really feel the wind. Or maybe I felt the wind the whole time because I sat on the front the whole time. Not really, but So there's Blake Anton, I think, coming through underneath me here. He's a 30 plus guy, Stars and Stripes guy. Maybe Brian Schuster on his wheel, Thirsty Bear, also a 30 plus guy. Um, Positive that's, I know Schuster's in the race, but we're coming in. And I like to hit that hill on the front. So if I did need to kind of file back, I could. And also try to carry as much speed into it as you can. So I kind of, hey, coming underneath you here, shift and down, shift, down, shift, and big ring for me was um, with the 28 at the back, so 53-28 up the hill. I bet a 30 would have been just about perfect up that thing because it definitely, it's one of these races for me where my legs felt great until they didn't, and the transition happened really quickly. Just got to see how the race unfolds here. But this is a course that I don't mind. At least or maybe I should say, I justify sitting on the front more because, I mean, on the downhill, I'm not putting out power anyways, and on the climb, the draft isn't as critical. But yeah, this was just a beautiful neighborhood, beautiful homes. Everyone that came out, and the neighborhood, and fellow bike racers, friends and family. It was just a real cool vibe. They had some awesome preems. They had really cool podium prizes. We got an announcer. We got music. I mean, this was cool. I will definitely um, make this an A race for next year's calendar for myself. I actually had it as a yesterday and today. This is the next day. I'm doing the voiceover Sunday. Headed back to Santa Cruz for that one. Um, Kind of had this as a C race. Try to categorize my races in terms of focus for training purposes for my coach, like A, B, or C. And these were C's. Like, yeah, they're in the calendar. I get some race fitness out of them, but I'm not going to lose sleep with excitement or anything. But man, this was a fun one. So we're still together, still kind of lined out here. Maybe it didn't feel any wind through that section there because it was kind of like, kind of sheltered. And then this is just a slight kind of downhill right before that hill kicks up. This is the speed hump. That was no big deal. Definitely want to make sure you're cognizant of it if you're, taking a drink and only had maybe one hand on the bar, but it wasn't like a speed bump or a gut or anything. So coming up the hill again. And this might be where we put the move in. This is where the moves happen, right here at the top, because then there's a little second effort here. And I guess we're still together. So we're 8 minutes in. This is a 50-minute race. Meanwhile, I'm driving through Los Banos on Highway 152. So I got my mobile studio going today. I'm rolling solo. Yesterday, I took my wife, my 11-year-old daughter, and one of her friends, dropped them off at the boardwalk. Drove the 30-minute drive over the other side of the hill to this race. Came back, spent last night on the boardwalk till about 8:30. Got home at 11, and turned around and drive back over by myself. So, the things we do to be able to race our bikes 2 days in a row. So, just drinking some of that $6 a gallon, Biden juice, I think we call it now. It's funny when gas prices are high, we like to have a target. I like the stickers on the pumps personally. I try not to get too political, but I think they're it lightens the mood because when you're putting $100 in your tank strategically because you don't want to go past the quarter tank from empty, so it doesn't hurt quite as bad. You need to be able to laugh a little bit. Anyway, back to the race. So we're still together, still just kind of sitting on the front here. I'm not feeling a huge fitness penalty for doing so. I'm sure there is one. I'm sure, strategy would say, sit 2 or 3 wheels back, let someone else drag the field around. I have a hard time with that, obviously. You see my other videos. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I need to work on patience, need to be a little more patience, and confidence, to have the confidence that if something does unfold, to be able to, confidence in my fitness, be able to react and maybe bridge up to it. But I was kind of trying to turn it up a little bit on that climb right there, but leave enough so that if someone kind of came over the top, that I could latch on. So, I think I don't know. Was I first up the hill every lap so far? And I'm sure I could have gone at it an easier pace. But anyway, I like this FJ40 here on the left. That thing's clean. Little, little visual stuff. This turn right here, we had a teammate. He got pushed out. I don't know if you can see the exit of this corner. There's like kind of like a rock planter barrier to the flower bed on the outside of this turn here. Look at that. Those are rocks right there, like big chunky rocks. And teammate in the Cat 4 race got pushed out, Brian Fogarty, and went down, broke his helmet. Little ER visit, make sure he's checked out. I'm sure he's going to be sore today, some little road rash too, but otherwise okay. I don't know that we had any mishaps in our field here. But we're still all together. I guess I'm in a good spot if they give any preems out. So 12 minutes in, about a quarter of the way through. I feel like the break got established early, but maybe not quite that early. Maybe it's right here. This guy's definitely ramping it up. I didn't see if that was Dana or one of his teammates here. Let's see if he goes to the rear view. I think Dana's behind me still. And that was one of his teammates, maybe. Yeah. But back up the hill. Got a Dolce Vita guy there going up the left side. I think those were kind of like 1,000-watt efforts up that hill. At least some of them were. They all felt like at least that, right? But we're still together here. Looks like. Tell who the blue jersey is behind me. Yeah, people out on their lawns and their lawn chairs and their ice chests, kind of cheering you on. It's kind of cool too to see this camera. It's Jeff. Check out his photos. I think Greg, Larry also. I think they're doing both races, so they probably won't have any race photos up on the websites. Probably till, I don't know, tonight if they're crazy and just. I mean, it's a lot of work. They take so many images, and then to have to kind of go through and do what they do their magic to them, and then get them all uploaded and posted for every field is a chore. So, but support your race photographers. They really kind of capture the moments. So, still all together. 14 minutes in. I might edit out this middle version here, or maybe I'll cut once the break's established. I'll cut towards the end. I don't know if anyone really wants to see a 48-minute crit video, but maybe I'll do it A and B version for you guys. So coming down, setting up for the climb again. Lane moving to the front there. Yeah, I don't really know how the break got established. Just kind of looked around and I'm like, I think we're gonna break. So the lane ramps up, and I think it might be right here. I think Chris Coble finally, red jersey right there. So there's the move. I kind of go hard. He's checking up enough. I think he's wanting to take a couple with him. I got Dana on my wheel, and Blaine is chasing to get on terms with us too. And so this is it here, 15 minutes in, and I don't think Chris is wanting to solo it, but definitely want to get that break established. So I think he kind of recovers here on the downhill, and I kind of stay low and kind of bring us up to him. So we got a break of 4 now, and we're all 40 plus. So it'd be nice if it was a break of 4 and I was the only 40 plus. That'd be a good position to be in, but not the case. So uh, so then I kind of carry my momentum. I pull through, and now we're working. We're going to do our turns here. And here's where I probably could have and should have been a little bit more prudent with the use of my power, my fitness, instead of burning my legs up. I definitely did my share of work probably in this break. I think Blaine was hurting a little bit. He had a few days off the bike. Um, he was telling me he did a family Disneyland trip last week or something, and so between being off the bike and walking at Disneyland, definitely can kind of zap some of your fitness a little bit. But I think we're good initially, but you'll see kind of the fatigue catches up with them a little bit quicker than the rest of us here. So, but I want to keep it going. I think Chris is motivated. Hey, let's get this thing established. We put enough time gap in, the field will become unmotivated or kind of just check up and race for the best of the rest. 30 plus guys have no motivation to chase. Thirsty Bear has teammates. They don't have any motivation. I think I was the only Velo Kings in this race. Teammate Mike McClooney was going to race it. He actually took the Cat 4 guy I mentioned, Brian Fogarty, took him to the ER to get checked out and wasn't able to get back for the race in time for the 30, 40, 1, 2, 3. So his legs will be fresh. I'll be racing with him in Santa Cruz the following day, today, Sunday, recording this. But we're kind of turning it here. So I'll keep the video going, and then I think at some point Blaine gets detached from us, and so then it's just 3 in the break. So we'll keep it going until that. It wasn't. I mean, he stayed with us for a little while. It wasn't like he only lasted in the break for 1 or 2 laps. It was a good little amount. So I'll figure out how to chop down the time on this thing, but still try to kind of give you the race report, tell the story. So meanwhile, I'm driving along San Luis Dam. Driver driving on 152, heading over. There's a herd of elk. It's really cool to see elk in California, in Central Valley. And sometimes they're just bedded down or they're feeding a grassy area right below the dam. But I don't see them right now. Back to the race. So you hear the cheers, the jeers, the heckles. It's pretty fun. I heard a go Chuck Norris in there. I think at one of the climbs from Greg's girlfriend, Chris. I think she said, "You're like Chuck Norris." I had a little hot streak going earlier in the season, won a few races in a row, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but I just remember she's compared me to Chuck Norris, or the Chuck Norris of cycling or something. And so I heard Chuck Norris when I went over the top, and so that was fun. See what our battery's doing. Looks like we're doing good. Still together. Downhill, final turn. I got the cell phone charger charging the MacBook. Um, it says it's charging, but I don't think it's charging it as fast as like, oh, there's the elk. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna say maybe 30 head, 30 cows. I don't know. They shed their antlers. I think even the bulls, the males, are antlerless this time of year. Anyway, there's your wildlife lesson. Growing up the son of an archery elk hunter, I know a lot about the elk's habitat. We're still cruising here. Still together. Yeah, I don't know that it was a full-on attack that popped Blaine off as much as it was just the pace we were at. Um, I mean, if you got 4 guys and you got one guy that's tired, unless he's not at least pulling through, it doesn't really hurt the break at all. And unless they're just really good at playing possum, they're really not, a concern as far as, placing and finishing order and that kind of thing. So no real need, unless you think that guy that's maybe struggling is still has a better sprint or something. Um, but no real need to kind of intentionally try to, attack one of your break mates out in a scenario like this. The other thing too is Thirsty Bear had teammates, right? And so if we intentionally attacked him out and he fell back to the field, his teammates are now going to be motivated to try to chase the break. And so all these different thoughts you're kind of running through in your mind between polls and trying to figure out, did Dana skip a poll? Is he strong? Or is he hurting? You're trying to size up your break mates while you're still kind of working with them. So I kind of play instead of playing possum. I guess I bluff. I bluff that I'm not hurting and take stupid big pulls and blast up the climb. When inside really I am hurting, but I want people to think I'm not. I should probably do the other instead of bluff. Maybe do more kind of play possum where, oh man, I'm barely on, guys. I'm gonna skip a pull and conserve. Uh, but I'll get there. So patience and confidence in my fitness and race IQ. I'm trying to kind of hone those things down. I had a lot of second place, third place results last year where I was in a break, but I just didn't play my hand well. And this year it seems like things are kind of clicking, and got a few early season wins already, um, several podiums, and I don't know that I'm any stronger right now than kind of this time last season, as much as just being more selective, being more patient. As you're watching this, you see kind of just duration of pull. Chris kind of pulls from the top through that corner. I like pulling this downhill because I get pretty arrow, and so I can open up the gap for a break without a huge penalty in my own kind of fitness, fatigue, stamina, that kind of thing. So we're just about halfway through the race right now. So I think we said established a break about 14, 15 minutes in of the 50-minute race, and we're at about 25 minutes right now. Hopefully the road noise isn't too bad. I might clean up the audio levels to try to kill some of the background noise here. When I do my kind of final edit process on this thing. But what a pretty day. What a pretty neighborhood. pretty fun being in a breakaway. So I think Blaine's starting to kind of fade here. I talked to Chris after the race. He barked at me once because I pulled off to the inside before turn one, um, and I was trying to give him shelter so he could come around on the shelter side, but I kind of screwed up. I was too close to the corner when I flicked him through, and like, "What are you doing, man?" And so he's kind of like, "Hey, sorry, I get excited in the breakaway." I'm like, "Hey, you know what? I do too, so don't even worry about it. It's all good." So I think Blaine he's just hanging on. I think we might have with us one more lap. But so when he does fall off, he basically stays in no man's land and rides in solo for fourth place, staying in front of the chasing field, but behind us in the what becomes a three-man break. And so props to Blaine for sticking in there, because that's a long, lonely effort. Um, Hopefully, he was getting time gaps to keep him encouraged on how far he was from the field chasing him. But I don't think we got time gaps till the second half of this race. We're in the second half, but I don't know that the moto ref has given us anything, and I couldn't hear anyone on course. I don't think our announcer was giving us time gaps, but just kind of calling out who we were, you know what was going on in the race, keeping the spectators informed and entertained. Still on. So windy day here going around the San Luis Reservoir. Man, you would not want to be in an RV right now. Gusty. But Sunday morning, not a lot of traffic, so we're good. So here we go, coming up the hill. A little. Yeah, I think that might have been it for. I only see three of us here. So he's 27 minutes in to 50-minute race, and now he's got to ride it solo. Which, again, of all the for a crit course, one that's got a big uphill and a big downhill, it's less impacted by the benefit of the draft than say just a flat, kind of four corner crit. So um, he's got better chance, on a course like this. Anyone really does, to stay away from a chasing field. Um, and I kind of misread this. I misread your patience, Dana, for tiredness. Because he's a super smart, super crafty, super experienced, nice guy too. Uh, but he's a quality racer, and he doesn't make mistakes. Or if he does, I don't see him. Um, and he took a couple of short pulls, and I don't know, he might have skipped a pull or two somewhere in there, maybe when we were still together with Blaine. But I don't know why in my mind I thought, oh man, or maybe because I hadn't seen him out at many races yet this year. So I'm like, well, maybe he's not on form yet. And so he might just be pretty close to popping. And, um, you know, maybe Chris and I can ride him out of the break. And um, then I only have to, kind of beat one guy for the win instead of having to battle two. Uh, Also, I know Dana's a good sprinter. Um, Chris is a good sprinter. I'm getting there. I think I'm a decent sprinter. It helps if you save your legs for the sprint. And I'm just starting to experience those things. and realized, wow, I can kind of hold this, you know, 12, 1300 watt sprint here, 5, 10 seconds, and put out a quality sprint effort, if I haven't just blown my legs up. So I did Pumpkin Valley Circuit, our practice race we do every Wednesday evening. That video is up on the channel too. I got a 2-man break in that one, and even efforts. Stephen Pimentel, and I had enough left on my legs. I didn't just empty the tank, TT effort or anything mid race. So I was able to put in a decent sprint, and I was able to hold Stephen off of the line. Partially, Stephen Ride Bikes Bro, Stephen Pimentel. Stephen's coming back from broken collarbone, so I don't think he had done much riding for the past 4 or 5 weeks or something. But watch that video. That one's got a good kind of a duel at the end. So there's a preem lap coming. 3 of us together. We got 18, 19 minutes of racing left. So I'll probably edit this part out. So if you're watching and listening to me right now, you got the uncut version, is what you're watching right now, because I'll edit out until we get down to maybe 4 to go or something, the last 8 or 10 minutes. So I'll chop 10 or 15 minutes out of the middle, edit it down to something so they're more watchable for most people. But cruising. I think I kind of gave it a little effort here a couple times right through this section here. And did this lap. But so there's our, my called. All right, I'll pull him downhill. Maybe it's this one already. I put a little effort in and kind of open it up. Just kind of testing the water a little bit. Still together. Sorry about that, folks. Driving by Braille here. Let's see, ETA 10:28 this morning. Race 11:40. We're good. Try to get to. I don't know about you guys. I like to be in races like an hour before they start. Get my number, kit it up, use the bathroom 1 or 2 times. I don't like feeling rushed. So I know you don't have to get there an hour early, but better too early than not early enough. And Chris rode strong in this one too. He was. I mean, I'm glad the brake formed early, because when he surged across there on that top, I I had to go pretty deep just to try to get up to him to kind of get on terms there. And I don't know if I would have had that kick, if that would have happened later in the race. So kind of glad it happened there. Plus, you're away from the pack. You don't have to worry about less likely to have a mishap or have someone take out your wheel or what have you. It's just, you know, It's like doing intervals. Just kind of get into rhythm and kind of go. I don't know. See if we have lap cards this time through. It'd be like thinking maybe 7 to go. Let's see what we're working with here. Maybe he'll yell it out. The under the 10th there on the left. Oh. Okay, 6 to go. 6 to go. Thanks. So here's where my legs went from feeling invincible to, oh man, I'm starting to, you know, slamming into this uphill and grinding through in the big ring every time. I don't know. Maybe it's a small ring thing where you get in the small ring early, but the challenge and spin up it, save your legs a little bit. But the challenge is, and then if a tap goes on that first little hump, once you get to the top, you're not in the right gear and you got to get back into the big ring. And, you're about half cross-eyed at the top of that hill anyway, can't really think. So I just big ringed it the whole time. Dana's definitely got most likely to be a climber. Yearbook designation, I think, between the three of us. I don't know what he weighs, but he's lean and mean. I think he's a little more compact, less mass to have to pedal up that hill. Um, Chris said he kind of wasn't really at race weight yet. He was carrying some extra weight. I'm getting there, where I really feel good without kind of losing power. I think I went up to about 178 over Christmas, and about first of the year I kind of started dialing it back, and I'm down 165 right now, 6'2". So I don't know how much lower I could get when your BMI drops into 21 range. There's not a lot left, but I think I get down to 162 or 3, but I'm not losing sleep over it. It's early in the season. Form is good, and it's been a good year so far. So I think we'll see 5 to go now. Five to go. Mark Tucker, Dana Williams, Chris Cobble. Cobble or Coble? I don't know. I'm going to ask you, Chris, next time I see you how to pronounce your last name. Always said Cobble, but I've heard people say Coble. So, anyway, when your last name's Tucker, the only way they mispronounce it is they spell it with an F instead of a T, quite frequently actually. So that's a joke. All right, 5 to go, coming up the hill. I think I'm good till about like 3 to go. And then at the top of that hill, that rubber band just stretching and stretching. And I don't know. Confidence and patience. It's a good tendency to have. So I feel like Chris is stretching it here. He's kind of seeing what's happening. But yeah, so here we go, 5 to go. So now I'm like, oh man, you guys kind of just figure I can kind of come through and get reattached here on the downhill. But I'm not able to recover. See, so I go up the climb, a second effort, still on it, and these guys are kind of coasting now, and I'm still needing to close that down because if that gap continues, into the climb next lap, then it's kind of bye race over for me. So I want that to happen. Could fall back and battle Blaine for third. I didn't know Blaine. I thought we didn't know if he had gotten caught by the field or if he stayed away. So I didn't know he was able to stay away till kind of after. So here I pull through. Finally get attached. We're 4 to go, and pull through to try to bluff that I'm okay. So maybe they won't go up the hill so hard, knowing that they're about to reduce their break down to 2 and increase their odds of winning from 1 and 3 to 50-50. Yeah, I'm definitely running at a deficit right now. So now they've basically been able to recover for the full lap, right? Because I pulled through at the bottom and kind of coasted to let me back on. So then 4 to go. They go hard again. I'm like, no! I want to hang on to your wheel, Dana. I'm not getting gapped off this time. And they go. And I have to, this is hurting. So here I get detached again with 4 to go. A little more this time. Thinking, oh, no worries, I'll catch them on the downhill again. I kind of come through again. And it was good tactics on their part. I felt like they were kind of letting me back on. It's kind of like, I was being waterboarded where I was almost being drowned to death. And then they, take the washcloth off my face, give me another, just enough to catch my breath, and then waterboarded again. But I think we see 3 to go next time through. It's a big gap opens up this time. Coming down. And I think they let me on one more time. Yeah, I'm going hard. I'm just wanting. And so I think I attach here, maybe at the speed hump, just a couple more turns. But again, they're kind of recovering, and their heart rate's going down, mine's going up, basically. So my will to survive is going down too. So they kind of look at me, thank you for letting me back on, so they can kill me again this lap. So then Chris goes, you see him on the right side there. He's going hard again. So 1 minute 30 seconds. I think I kind of stay attached here, I guess. Or not. I think I get back on turns here, or they let me back on. We got a time gap, and if they haven't realized, I'm probably not a threat in a sprint, in the finishing sprint. So, yeah, they're kind of sizing each other up. I'm trying to get UCI illegal and arrow as I can there. Just trying to recover and pedal, stay low. And I think they let me kind of tow them around here to the hill again as we're coming into Bell Lap. Man, what a fun race, though. This is perfect time of year. High 60s temperature-wise. Just perfect. Clear, blue sky. This is a fun one. Oh, okay, 2 to go. Sorry. So we got one more before Bell Lap. So. I probably should have pulled off once I got back on here, just so they could visually see how close I was to popping. Trying to hide my pain on their wheel instead of in front of them. But these guys are strong. I mean, these are some of the strongest guys in NorCal, not in the nation. So um, it feels good just to be able to stay in a break with them and get on the podium with them. So there we go. We're 2 to go here. I think Chris is trying to wear Dana down maybe. I don't think he sees me as a factor at this point in the race, but he was definitely kind of testing things out, maybe seeing if he could sneak away off the front in those last few laps. And I think he's checking up here, so probably figuring that he's gonna have to go for broke next lap, bell lap. So, and I'm just like, oh, I'm okay with third. I've got that in my mind, and maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe you're in it until you're not in it, and so keep your mind in it until then. But I just lack just a degree or two of mental toughness here, because I take them into the hill for the last time in the last lap, and I don't know, maybe I should have emptied it there and kind of treated that like the finish to kind of stay on terms with them, knowing that I could recover. But I also thought, I've got the Santa Cruz crit the next day. I don't know, just all these start trying to, bargain with yourself when you're in pain like this. I do anyway. And it's like, you've done good, Mark. You can, third place is good. Your podium's 3 deep. You're on the box, and I don't know. Who knows? Maybe don't know unless you try. So, and the reality of it is, if I would have, just completely emptied myself at the top of this climb here, that on top of what I've already done to my legs in this race, and it's not going to make a huge difference. One more effort in terms of racing the next day. So, come that far, I should have stayed in it. But here we go. This is about to see my farewell song with this breakaway. So they're going, and I'm, you're feeling okay here, but then, Cobble has like another gear or 2 gears, because then he doesn't let up from that effort. And so now they've got me popped off, and then they can kind of just cat and mouse it for the sprint to see kind of how it ends there. But I don't know, man. I should have. Shoot, whatever. It was fun. I don't know that it would have changed my placing, but again, you don't know until you try. So that was a kind of a melted error on my part. I let the motor rough by there. Kind of gives me the thumbs up, and I kind of cruise in now. So between Dana and Chris, I think Dana came through that final turn first. Chris on his wheel, and apex, and then drifted out. And Chris wasn't able to come around him. I think he was wanting to try to sprint around Dana on the left side. That would have been the sheltered side, the preferred side. But Dana, I guess, held him to the line. So finishing order: Dana Williams, Mike Spike first, Chris Cobble, Olympic Club second, and yours truly, Mark Tucker, Velo Kings, third place. Awesome race. Thanks for watching. I'll get Santa Cruz up tonight. Comment, like, subscribe. Thanks, guys.